Okay, let's see if I can position this well. And hopefully it'll stay in place. Okay, hello, welcome. My name's Robert, and I just finished watching a video from a guy named on YouTube, from a guy named FoolKiller99. For any fan out there that is a fan of professional wrestling, I advise the most deepest crescent of love filled within my heart to watch that guy, because he is intelligent. On almost everything he says, at 100%, I agree with him to the fullest. And the last video I watched of his was, quote, "Wrestling fans need to take action." And in the state that professional wrestling is in right now, that's an understatement. Please, if you're a huge avid and a huge passionate lover and follower of WWE, I'd advise you to stop watching this, because I may offend you, but I'd also advise you to keep listening, because I may make sense to you. I've been a wrestling fan, well, heavily into wrestling, since about 6-7 years ago. I'm 18 now, and I got into it about 04-05. So we're not looking at the deepest reigning wrestling fan in the business. But I know my shit, and I'm not trying to brag, but give my opinion some sort of stature, some sort of value and importance. I want to let you know that I know my shit, because I've done a lot of research on all the past of wrestling. I know who's who, what's what, just to give me some sort of backup. So, WWE and TNA, two mainstream pro wrestling businesses current right now. One being 10 years young, and the other being around now 35, 40 years old. Well, yeah, around there. Maybe older, I'm guessing. If you have a brain, and it's fully functioning, and it's capability, I guess you could say, you'd realize that the professional wrestling era it is now is complete bullshit in the most non-insulting way I could give. I don't know what it is, but I'll give one answer. Money talks. And money will keep talking, especially when you're billionaire Vince. And no disrespect to Vince, but he created a business that allowed me to get into it, that created a passion for pro wrestling and the business itself for me, and for millions and billions of other people, obviously not billions, millions of other people around the world, and the wrestlers themselves. So when I say professional wrestling is in the worst state it's ever been in history, I mean that with the most respect and heartmost, I guess, love, you could put it, way ever. TNA has obviously so much to work on, because it's still pretty shitty itself. But if I will say something, it is the one company that gives the respect back to the fans that give the respect to the company. There's a mutual respect going on between the fans and the company, and you can see it. If you are a passionate fan like I am, and if you just watch TNA enough to watch it enough, you realize that. WWE just keeps bragging about, did you realize that Raw broke the most records for views on TV last week? And shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear this. And I don't need to hear this. Because I understand that you're already the big #1 billionaire corporation that I grew up watching, okay? You don't need to keep shoving this down my throat. Number 2, the in-ring talent in comparison between TNA and WWE is very far gap. Angle, Austin Aries, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, the list goes on who has the in-ring capability that is nowhere near at the depths and lows that WWE's is. But that's kind of off the point, but that's just one more reason I want to let you know that you need to follow TNA. That's the one company that needs the respect and the viewership and the loyalty towards, at least in this era and this day. But speaking about loyalty, that brings me to the other fact. Knowing that any professional wrestler that is in the business because of the love and passion they have for the business. And that's a no-brainer. That goes without saying. So when I look at a guy like Randy Orton, who has it in their blood, genetically and spiritually, whatever way you can muster up and say, fourth generation superstar or third generation, he has a loyalty not only to professional wrestling itself, but to WWE. And second of all, he's probably not going to go to TNA because they pay less money, and he's already made a substantial, decent career that's created a passion for the sport from my point of view. I grew up loving and watching him, and obviously for himself. And he had a great run of a career, and he still is running a great, awesome career. But knowing that the company and the direction WWE is going in, and knowing the bloodline that he has with this business, and knowing the potential and the smarts he has when it comes to the business, along like the other great guys, Flair, like Hunter, like all those great guys, look in his eye when he cuts a promo and does a wrestling match these days, which doesn't, the intensity and that fire in his heart doesn't seem to burn as much as it used to, just say 5, 6, 7 years ago. But like I said, you need to make money somehow. Second of all, like I said, professional wrestling, it's his passion, his love, and he's not going to go to TNA and make less money. And two, he has a loyalty to the WWE, and obviously his friends, the list goes on. Just even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it seemed like Randy Orton knew how to cut a promo way better than he did now. Last Friday, SmackDown, I don't even know what that bullshit he was cutting. He didn't even know, like it was the first time he was talking on the mic. The intensity, the passion from all the wrestlers in the roster on WWE seems to be lacking completely. Except for a couple, and I'll say one. CM Punk. That's the one guy I can watch right now and actually put my wrestling mind into it and lose my sense of analytics on going, this is fake, and actually believe in what he's saying. Obviously the work ethics and the dedication for pretty much all the wrestlers on the roster are obviously there. I mean, if they weren't there, they wouldn't, if they didn't have the dedication, they wouldn't be in the business today. But CM Punk is the one guy that I have respect for in WWE right now. I have a respect for a lot of the guys, but right now he's the one shiner. TNA, 10 years young, they have a lot of flaws themselves, and their direction they're going in is, hit and miss. But the potential and the respect they give to us, and the potential that I can see the company has, that's why I'm saying stick with them, be loyal, and support them as much as you can. Do not be a WWE sheep and let all Vince McMahon force feed you bullshit after bullshit on Monday Night Raw and fucking Friday Night SmackDown and Superstars and NXT and all that bullshit. What is this? Hornswoggle bullshit that he's throwing down our throats. This fucking Santino Marella wearing a dress totally at WrestleMania, totally knocking down the Divas contendership, or whatever word you're looking for there. Divas are like nothing. The tag team division in the WWE is complete bullshit. There's no alliance or even tag team consisting or be alive in the WWE right now That's not even a real fucking tag team that has a fire under their asses to want to get a tag team championship. Plus, the story writers, I don't know what they're fucking writing. It's like they're just looking at cartoons and comic books that fucking 10-year-olds and 5-year-olds read. And I know the PG era, so they kind of have to, but oh my god, it's pathetic. It is completely pathetic. I have no respect for the WWE anymore. No respect. Wrestling fans like Fool Killer 99, I completely recommend you watch him. We need to take action. I don't know how, but they need to hear what we want. We're the fans. We are the people that give them the money. Without us, their companies and corporations wouldn't be existent. We are the reason why wrestlers become wrestlers, is because they want to hear us chant their names. They want to see those crowds lit up. They want to see all those seats sold out because we give the money, dedication, and loyalty to these corporations and these companies. Without us, they wouldn't be existent. So you have to remember that in the back of your mind, that without us, they wouldn't be existent. So when I say we need to take action, it's not that we need to, it's that we are the reason that they exist. So what we want is what we should be fucking getting because we give the money. We give the viewerships. We give the ratings. We give the critics. We give our opinions. We are the ones watching. Wrestling wouldn't be existent if there was an empty crowd with no cameras. That's the bottom fucking line. Professional wrestling is going complete fucking shit. As, well, I feel I have the looks, the physique, and the charisma to become a professional wrestler. But my motivation completely shoots right out my ass when I know I have WWE to look up to in the direction that it's going now, not to say it won't change, and TNA. But TNA, 10 years young, there's still a hell of a lot more chances and areas they can definitely improve on, and the in-ring talent is obviously there. And yeah. So if you're a professional wrestling fan like me, and like the other millions in this country, in Canada, and in the United States, and across the world, you have to hear me out and know what I'm saying is not bullshit. One thing I have to say about TNA right now, besides Vince McMahon being a greedy bitch, is that Hulk Hogan needs to get away. Terry Bollea needs to get the far as he can from TNA. I have no respect for him because he is a greedy bastard too. And if I were to tell you the shit that he's done in his career and his life, you wouldn't be proud of him, and you wouldn't be looking at that Hollywood Hulkmania, brother. You wouldn't be looking at that shit. He needs to get away from TNA. So as a fan, I love professional wrestling and always will. But wrestling needs to change. They need to hear us. I mean, it's not like them hearing us isn't really going to change much, because somehow along the line they're still going to keep making money, and that's the sad thing. But something needs to happen. We need to take action. That's all. So from a professional wrestling fan to you, to the rest, I say peace, and think hard and deep about that.